Hi, I'm Danny, and today I will be doing the How I Read book tag. I was tagged by Joe at Tiny Teacup. The first question is, how do I hear about new books? BookTube, Goodreads, and the soon-to-be released section of Barnes & Noble website. It's pretty much how I learned about new books. How did I start reading? I originally was never a really reader. I would read comic books every once in a while. And then one day my mother brought home a book that she thought I would like, and of course me at the time, I just kind of tossed it in the corner. And one day I was literally just so freaking bored that I decided, what the heck, I'm going to pick it up and I'll at least try to read it. I know I'm going to put it down like 5 minutes, and I could not put it down. And it's just been the constant cycle of books ever since. As soon as I was done with that book, I immediately went to my mother and asked for another one. We went straight to Barnes & Noble's and got one book. I should have probably known better at the time, but at the time I didn't think I would finish it that fast. I finished it within 24 hours of actually starting it. I think it was less than 24 hours, because I think the very next day I started it, and I started it like maybe 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I was done, it was, I think, before 6 in the afternoon the very same day. So I read it pretty fast. How has my taste changed? Well, when I first started books, I started with adult romance, and it was mainly adult paranormal. I've never been into the real like regular people thing. I've always read books where the person is something. Either it's a witch, a vampire, or just someone with some sort of powers, or in the world there's some sort of magic. I've never just read like normal people. I've tried contemporary, and like I've said before, it's not something I kind of just automatically gravitate towards, but it's something I've been trying. But yeah, my tastes have changed. I've gone from adult romance, adult paranormal romance, to erotica, to YA, to, well, a lot of things. And I'm still branching out in the YA genre. Like, I've been thinking about trying dystopian. I've been trying some darker books. So I'm still branching. So I guess you could say my reading is still evolving. But yeah, I would pretty much read anything before, and now I have more standards, I guess you could say. Not exactly standards, but the book has to capture my attention. I won't just say, okay, it sounds okay, I'll read it. It used to be, okay, it sounds okay, I'll read it. But now it's like, oh, this sounds good, I will definitely read it. But if it sounds okay, I'll be like, maybe next time. How often do I buy books? Probably more than I should. I have not released my book haul yet, but you guys will see it. And because of that book haul, my shelf is truly filled to the brim. So I'm going to probably be unhauling some books sometime soon, because I know there's quite a few books on there that I've looked back on and it's like, why did I want to read this? So yeah, I'll probably be unhauling some books sometime soon. How did I get into BookTube? I had just saw the, what was it? It was the Mortal Instruments. I just saw the Mortal Instruments movie. I kind of wanted to see a certain part. I just saw in the movie because the movie had not been released on DVD yet. And I typed it up. I typed up Mortal Instruments, expecting only for like trailers for the movie to pop up. And what do I see? Books. So I'm like, what the heck? So I click on it, and they're describing the movie almost to a T. I'm like, oh my god, it was a book? People actually make videos just talking about books? Me in my life, I don't have very many friends who read. Our taste kind of differs. They are mainly on adult paranormal romances or different types of things, while me, I'm mainly on YA. A few of them I have gotten into YA. They've tried 1 or 2 YA books and they found authors they like, but they just won't read plain YA. So I figured I have really no one to talk to about these books, and I don't want to spoil my friends in case they decide to read these books. And some of the books I've recommended them, they're actually currently reading at this moment, like the Throne of Glass series. And I don't want to spoil them by talking to them about it, so I could actually start a BookTube channel. I could buy books and just talk about books. So it was pretty much heaven. I was terrified recording my first video, but I am glad I got into it. It is more fun than I thought it would be. What do I do when I don't like a book's ending? I do two different things. Sometimes I will recreate a completely different ending in my mind, and if I think it's good enough, I will actually write it down and post it on fanfiction.net. And if I can't think of anything that I think could possibly happen, I will go onto fanfiction. I will look at other people's like alternative endings to that book, and a lot of them it's like, okay, yes, I can accept that. I like that. Especially if the whole series, or if it's a standalone, the book ends with a person I didn't want the main character to end up with, or if it just ends bad altogether and I just don't agree with it. I will go on fanfiction and read about it. And there are so many fanfictions on there. There are fanfiction and couples that I never even thought of being together. Like there is a fanfiction for Twilight for like Bella and Carlisle, and there is a fanfiction for the Throne of Glass series with Selena and the King of Adoulin. So yeah, there's even a fanfiction for Clary and Sebastian, and it's just creepy, but they're so good. I think I've read maybe 20 of them, and yeah, but they are good. How often do I flip to an end of a book? Very extremely rarely. Only when I have truly just given up on the book and just not cared about the rest of the story, but I still want to know how that book ends, especially if it's a standalone. Say I'm in the middle, I just don't care about the book anymore, I just don't want to even read it anymore. I would usually flip to maybe like the last chapter, and I would just kind of read maybe the epilogue if it has one, just to kind of see how the story ended, especially if I wanted two people to be together but I just didn't care about the story anymore and I just want to know if they got together. Those are the very, very few rare occasions I flip to an end of a book, but usually I will try and push through even if I don't care about the story too much. But when I'm truly done, I'm just done. Who do I tag? I'm not quite sure what people I tag, but I will leave them below for the people I tag, and I would like to thank Joe for tagging me